Luke chapter 6, verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. Koholoimla Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekah Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to the H.I.M and Ahwa that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yahana Nawa, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just wanted to touch on the Snoop Dogg situation. Of course, he went from the tough-ass gangster to fall into Esau's bullshit with this LGBTQ cartoon shit that they want to push on you know who, the so-called blacks, especially Hispanics and Native American children. You know what I'm saying? With this, everybody's inclusive, and you have to, why aren't these so-called white people, these country singers and these big wig so-called white actors, why aren't they pushing the LGBT shit on their children? Why aren't they doing programs to actually destroy their kids? Because we all know that this is a Jacob and Esau fight, the rivals that came, from our forefathers and mother, Isaac and Rebekah. That fight that's going on throughout the world or throughout this global system, you know what I'm saying? It's a spiritual fight. And Esau, he's in control of our people, and he throws, these trinkets, or he throws these, these funds towards our people, and they'll just fall and do anything for this shit, But let's get into a little bit of it. I mean, this is just it's just a bad look, man. It really is a bad look. Nobody has no respect for Snoop like that no more, and that's probably the reason why. Well, I can't say that's the reason why he went along with it. We know that the motherfucker is just greedy. He's about that money, and I'm not sure how much he's worth, which we can actually see on that. Matter of fact, let's see how much Snoop is worth. Well, the scriptures talks about how you can't serve God and mammon. Yep, here we go. Look at this dude. Constantly got some shades on. Just ain't no telling what this guy done to get to where he's at. They probably got some video footage of him doing some real nasty, or something being real nasty done to him. And we've been saying that all along. The apostles, the bishops, the elders have been saying for quite some time that these entertainers, these very people that our people look up to and love so much, if they only knew in the backdrop of what they done that night to sacrifice, or who they sacrificed, or what they done to actually get to where they are, they'd be disgusted, man. Right? So let me see here. Net worth. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, he says he's estimated to be worth around $150 million. Yep. So you think he's gonna give that up? You think he's gonna say, nah, I'm not? They had to have pushed this guy to do this, because it happened too quick. Remember, he was just fussing about taking his grandson to the theater, to see, I think, Buzz Lightyear or some crazy shit, and said that they, there was this intimate sexual encounter in the cartoon, and it said his grandson asked about it or some shit, and he responded. So let's just get into, when he said what he said, we already knew that they was going to be coming after his ass, and they came after him a lot quicker than I thought they would. But generally, Esau, he's on Jake's ass, man. He'll R. Kelly your ass. He'll P. Diddy you, man. He'll Bill Cosby your ass. This dude is in control of your life when you sign those contracts, man. He'll Prince your ass. He'll Michael Jackson your ass, man. See, Jake is really under some real pressure in this kingdom to try and stay alive and to stay afloat, and it's really because they don't have no spirituality about them. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. They're just living for the day. You know, they're just living for the day, you know, and they really think that these careers, or they really think that this wealth is going to carry on and things are just going to last. And it's not, man. You're at the end. And Esau, he's pulling those last, he's pulling off his last little tricks and shit like that to keep Jake under. Because that's all that this is, you know what I'm saying? You know, this is another trick of Esau to further try and keep Jake in sin. And one of the most sinful things that you can do is to be a part of this particular lifestyle, because that lifestyle, that's a sin that you can be put to death for, you know. That's one of those things. And see, this is what Esau wants for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He wants you to continually sin against your power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, so the Lord can put your ass to death and to keep you under. See, he uses these people, you know, these entertainers, and, you know, Snoop, he gonna take that chip. If he doing shit like this right here, you know, if the Lord doesn't, you know, have mercy on this guy and he doesn't repent, he's going to take that chip along with his family to keep that $150 million, man. It's nothing. And I was kicking it with this Edomite at the job and shit, and we was kind of talking, you know, just kind of speaking a little bit. You know, we was talking about, you know, just think about, because he actually, it's an Edomite at the job that actually mentioned the mark of the beast to me. One day we was riding and listening to talk radio. He's just out of the blue. I think they're gonna come with that microchip. I'm like, where the fuck that come from? You know, but we was kicking it about that. And I was telling him, I was like, well, shit, you know, it's not gonna take much for them to do it. You know, if you got a person that's got $5,000 in the bank, and that's little money compared to 150 million, but you got people that with as little as $1,000, $100. That's gonna be like, well, I need access to my money, and the only way that you can get access to it is the microchip. Then it's Jake that's gonna take that shit just to get that $100, that $5,000. Especially, think about a nigga, $150 million. You don't think Snoop gonna take that chip? Snoop, Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, that whole G Unit crew, and all these rappers. And we just talking about rappers. You don't think that LeBron? You know what I'm saying? You don't think that these NBA players, man, these NFL players, your Patrick Mahomes, these people gonna take that fucking chip, man, to keep that money. They gonna take that chip. They gonna bring them kids, and they're actually gonna use these entertainers to actually promote you taking that chip. Remember COVID, the C19? Then they use a bunch of so-called black people to get you niggas to go out and roll your sleeve up, and a bunch of them niggas is not here no more. Anyway, Salakia, let's get into some of the article. After performing at Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's wedding, Benny Blanco hit a lick with little Selena. I don't know what she's seeing in that, you know, but hey, it is what it is. Because she's a little beauty, boy. I don't know what her body shape like, but she a little beauty. Kind of seemed like she got some wits about her and shit when I've seen her in interviews. But anyway, Snoop Dogg is embarking on another unexpected side quest as he's launching his own animated children's series with LGBTQ plus representation. Just like that, bro. This week, the 53-year-old rapper gave fans a look at his new project, Doggy Land, a 3D animated YouTube series that teaches the social, emotional, and cognitive skills through music for young children. Now, why are you coming at these children like this? Here you go, you a grown ass so-called black man. You know, you done shot people. You're the face of marijuana. You know, you're the so-called face of lowriders and gangsterism. You know, I remember this nigga in St. Oz commercials. Just, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, here you go. You care about the kids, man. You care about the kids to the point of promoting some more disastrous shit on the kids. Crazy, man. And the Lord gonna destroy these niggas, man. It says in one episode titled Love is Love. There you go. Snoop Dogg created a song to teach children that families come in many different forms. But what matters most is love shared between them. This nigga done recorded a track. And ain't no telling, you know, see, with Esau, he'll push this shit out there like it's number one. But Jake clowning this nigga. You go into the comment boards, these people clowning Snoop, man. They ain't got to, he done lost all respect. But guess what? You know, it's either that or they show the film of what he done to get there. I assume. After starring as a Lego rendition of himself in the Netflix documentary Piece by Piece, Snoop Dogg is now focusing on his own project supporting the LGBTQ plus community This comes as a surprise to some after he previously, here we go, he previously claimed that he was scared to go to the movies after seeing a lesbian couple portrayed in the animated movie Lightyear. See? See that? So when he said that, they was on his heels. They was on his heels talking about canceling his ass. In 2022, the Drop It Like It's Hot hit maker was hit with backlash, see? Online after his public bash, after he publicly bashed the 22 Disney movie. See? When you do that, you have to be prepared. Because Snoop is not prepared to give up everything. Snoop is not prepared to lose everything. You know? They hit Kanye West over the head, you know what I'm saying? You know? He still got something. He ain't just, done lost everything. But, they shut his ass up for the most part. Kyrie Irving, you see what he done. They shut his ass up. And I was just talking about, on that side of things. And we know that they running that too. We know that the tiny, tiny hats are running that shit, man. Come on, bro. Because why is it so... Why are you going so hard to push this man, to push this shit on his community? Because that's who they pushing it to. You think who the fuck you think is about to, that mainly listens to Snoop Dogg? I mean, he's a worldwide name now. There's a lot of people that like him. But when they doing shit like this, they're doing this to promote this on our community of people, the Israelites. And this is all crafty counsel. Let's get this 2 Corinthians 2:11. 2 Corinthians, Salakia. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. See? And we're not ignorant of Satan's schemes. Matter of fact, it says his evil schemes. In the NLT, it says, so that Satan would not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. See, we're familiar with why they're doing this. Because, first off, he know that he has but a short time, so he's going to come down with that great wrath. But he's pulling out all the stops now. He's pulling out everything against the Israelites now. Everything. He used to have a little bit of time to smoothly, gradually pull certain things here and there and take his time with fucking Jacob. Now he's going full-fledged, all stops, all missiles, every fucking, a bullet. He's coming at us with everything now as a people. And 2/3 of Jake gonna go for it. They're gonna take it, and a lot of them gonna take that goddamn chip. They're gonna take that fucking computer chip, and the Lord gonna destroy the asses, man, with that thermonuclear fire. And they gonna get them grievous sores on their ass. You gonna see Snoop Dogg, his doofy ass, you'll fucking grow an extra head out of his neck. Anyway, man, but we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, why they would use somebody like this, and they took full advantage of. That little, because all he had to do is just, say, I said what I said, and that's that. I got a grandson. I want grandchildren from him. He could have said what he said, let the steam blow off, and fuck y'all. That's how you got to stand, but you know why he won't stand that way? Because of that money, man. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. It's that money. They done came at him, they done threatened that money. He probably got a call from Dre, like, hey, man, what you doing, man? They gave me a call to have a talk with you, because you ain't no telling what Dre done. Ain't no fucking telling what ain't no telling. They probably got him and Snoop doing something together. In a fucking, who knows, man? Ain't no telling what kind of film footage they got on all these celebrities, bro. Crazy. That's why you hearing so much talk of some of them with some integrity actually leaving the industry. Because they like, nah, man, nah, come on, bro. I'm not going to do that. It's been all kinds of talk for decades and decades and decades of how Esau gets down, and if you want to be successful, and because a lot of these people don't have no talent, because Snoop is not talented. I've never liked Snoop like that. Now he has had the blessing somewhat of having some dope beats, or that production from Dre. Because other than that, Snoop Dogg is not a great rapper. He's not, he's mediocre at best. He's novice when it comes straight down to it. He's never been like a lyrical person. He just can sway to a beat, keep beat, you know what I'm saying, and say the little shit that doofy niggas like, and it's the visuals. He's had that blessing of, riding on them stupid ass bikes with the Daytons on them, little lowrider bikes and videos with them stupid ass cars, bouncing up and down, with the candy paint on it, looking some type of way. And Jake fall for that shit, because he's not talented like that. He's not no lyricist, I'll put it that way, He's an entertainer, I'll put it that way. This is Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon, right? So out of these two masters, guess who his master is? It's that money. Esau, the damn devil. And he's going to be destroyed right along with, because he's going to accept that chip, man. To keep those funds, if you don't have no integrity at this point, you done made $150 million. You can say, well, hey, fuck it. They might fuck me over and I might lose everything except for 10 million. Goddamn, I can live off 10. I mean, come on. But he been living it up for so long. This man been living like this. He been living that lifestyle over half of his life. He's been, I think he probably came in the game when he was, teenager, early 20s. He's 50 something now. He's been living lavishly in a mansion for the past 3 decades or so. So he's not trying to give that shit up, man. But see, when it comes to this truth, you have to actually be prepared to give up everything for this truth, man. We live for our daily bread. We have faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that created everything, And that's crazy that they'll go with a motherfucker that can only give you a couple of $100 million when we're serving the one that gave you the money, gave the motherfucker that's giving you the money. That created the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything that you see around you. That's our power. You know what I'm saying? But here you go. You'll lower yourself to the low of a peasant and his bullshit money with his face on it that he can delete at any time. Crazy, bro. Well, let's get a little more. It says, during the interview, Snoop Dogg said, my grandson in the middle of the movie is like Papa Snoop. How she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. And shit, I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Well, you shouldn't even been there at all. Hell, you have enough money, nigga. Well, I'm sure you got a private damn theater at your house. So this all might be a setup anyway. This could be something that he's just saying to set things. Who knows, man? You just never know with these people. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Who goes to see, what movie theater was your ass at? Because, people, oh, that's Snoop. Oh, Snoop. Everybody want a picture, paparazzi on your ass. So what movie theater were you really at when most people of his stature got movie theaters in their own home, man? They get free premieres. They see these fucking movies well before the public even see these movies, man, in a lot of cases. So it could be a setup. You just never know, He went on to quote his grandson as he added, they just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? I'm like scared to go to the movies. Y'all throwing me in the middle of this shit that I don't have an answer for. Well, all of a sudden now you got an answer? And all of a sudden you doing fucking cartoons for the kids? You got a damn theme song? The Lord gonna destroy this wicked ass nigga, man. In response to his grandson's question, Snoop Dogg told him to be quiet and keep eating his popcorn. He said, it threw me for a loop. I'm like, these are kids. We have to show that at this age, they're going to ask questions. I don't have the answers. Okay, so all of a sudden, here you go. You got a fucking Doggy Land show for the asses. Look at this shit, bro. And fucking incredible. And they gonna push this shit on all the TV networks as far as some little, when you hand your child a motherfucking the iPad, and they just sitting in the stroller. They just scrolling through the TV. You got what you think they're watching, just kid shows, and they're being educated. This is the type of shit that they're going to be showing while your doofy ass smoking a blunt. On your phone. Texting back and forth, FaceTiming, and all kinds of other doofy shit. Some single black mama. Right? Because at least this nigga's a part of his grandson's life. But goddamn, nigga, you're part of your grandson's life. You think like, hey, well, shit, if that's the case, you just explain to him that, hey, look, that's not the way to go right there. That's societal. It's becoming societal norms, but it shouldn't be normal for you. You're a man. Children come from you. I'm not sure how old his grandson is, but you explain it to him in a way where they can get it. But that's why the scripture talks about train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is older, he will not forget. So guess what this is going to do? These cartoons, it's going to train up these children. Matter of fact, let's get that scripture. It's going to train these children, but guess what? It's going to train them in a wicked way. Because you can train a child to be righteous, or you can train him up to be wicked. This is why the Lord says to go with the scriptures. This is why he said to teach your children from generation to generation what I said, roughly paraphrasing. So this is Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. So you train up your children in the way he should go when they're young, man. And they would not depart from it. So that was a perfect situation where he could have pulled his grandson to the side, like, fuck it, nigga, let's just go. Let's get up. You telling him to be quiet and eat his popcorn. You should have been getting up to right off the jump. Like, you know what? Let's come on, grandson. Let's go do something. I got to, whatever the case. I got a call. I got to do something. We'll chop it up on this later. Take his ass to the car and you explain to him there. Hey, look, we're living in a society where, hey, they're going to be pushing this on you. This is something that you do not accept no matter what. But he ain't got no scriptures in him. He can't say, well, this is what the Lord said. You know what I'm saying? That if a man and a woman are together in that manner, they will surely be put to death. It is an abomination unto you, roughly paraphrasing. It's an abomination unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know? So, his little TV show that he claims he didn't want to be put in the middle of, now he got a whole show that's gonna warp the children, bro. Can't wait, man, till the Lord start putting some of these niggas to death, man. The Lord probably gonna, man, ain't no telling what the Lord gonna do to this nigga. He might do it publicly to this nigga, man. He might be the next nigga to nosedive in an airplane. Well, they probably came at him anyway. We already know they came at him. Like, well, this is what we're gonna do if you don't. They ain't no telling that coming. I would love to hear that conversation. Okay, but it says, but since then, it appears that Snoop Dogg has had a change of heart and is now showcasing his support for the LGBTQ community. Promoting his new episode he shared. They probably gave him a bunch of money for this shit too. It's a beautiful thing that kids can have parents of all walks and be shown love. This nigga crazy, bro. To be taught what love is. That's not love. Love is the commandments. Here, I think that's what is that? These people, man. They done gave you this bullshit ass feeling of love. Oh, let me see, Salakia. Yeah, Esau, man, is a goddamn demon, man. There's a few of them, man. Let's get 1 John 5:2 and verse 3. But by this we know that we love the children of Yahweh, when we love Yahweh and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. See, that's love. That's love. Love is to not just to tell your people, hey, look, man, you fucking up right now, even though they may be harsh on them, but you love them enough to be hard on them so they don't fucking fuck themselves over, man. See, this is the witchcraft of these people, man. It's that bullshit right here. Let me get that back again. He says, promoting in his new episode he shared. It's a beautiful thing that kids can have parents of all walks and be shown love, to be taught what love is. Being able to have parents from all walks of life, whether it be two fathers, two mothers, whatever it is, love is key. See, this nigga gonna be put to death, man. The Lord gonna put this nigga down. One verse of the song featured in the episode sings, our parents are different, no two are the same. But the one thing that's for certain is love won't change. Families are special. They are so unique. Everybody's got a purpose more than what you see. See? This nigga actually went to the studio and recorded a song, bro. I wonder how many blunts he smoked to get to this point. Nigga normally in the studio just blowing blunt back to back. You blew a blunt to some fucking some peanut butter stuffer shit. Doofy ass nigga, man. This nigga is straight doofy, bro. This nigga went from, golly, bro. When you talking about buck raped, Under the clip, the rapper was met with an outpour of love from his fans. See, there you go. No, not the real fans, not the niggas that supported his ass through his career and was paying all that money to really go to his concerts. No, not them supporters. The fuck out of here. One supporter commented, "Thank you, Snoop. Thanks for turning a negative into a beautiful positive. Love is love, and you just showed that." The fuck out of here. Another fan added, "I love all your children's content." I'm sure you do. Probably some pedos. I use it in the daily. He said, they say, "I use it in the daily in the classroom with my students." See, here you go. You sending your kids to school. You don't know these clowns is teaching your children a bunch of bullshit. And this is Esau's system, man. But what, Jake? You don't have no choice but really to send your children to school because you're working 2 or 3 damn jobs to keep a roof over their head. You don't have time to really sit down and talk with them. But that's where you gotta make some time. You gotta be on top of what they're actually. What did y'all learn in school today? You don't have that family sitting around the table dinner no more, where you can say, "Well, all right, you know what, you know." I remember back in the days that used to be a thing. You sit down together, you have dinner. It wasn't no fucking everybody on a fucking cell phone at you know, or taking a plate to their room. You eating in your damn bedroom, watching TV or listening to some fucking music. No, you sit down at the table, everybody. That's when you actually had fathers too. So Esau, this corrupt man, he has corrupted everything. And he uses our people to continue that corruption amongst our people, man. And Snoop Dogg, this nigga, man, through. You know, yeah, through, bro. Says, "I use this daily in my classroom with my students. They love it, particularly affirmations, content, and nursery rhymes." See? That's how they get your kids, man. While a third user chimed in, "I'm all for it. Means a lot more knowing some real growth went into it. Change is hard. So proud of you, Snoop." Yeah. Well, Esau keep him on top. You know what I'm saying? Esau keep his pockets filled, but in the meanwhile, he can't come to the hood. I bet you right now, after this bullshit that this nigga just done, he ain't gonna come and do none of those concerts no more. Ain't gonna be no gin and juice. Ain't gonna be no no chronic. Ain't gonna be none of that shit. Them stadiums are gonna be empty, bro. Trust me. Real Jake not going to support this nigga no more. Now it might be filled with some white people. You know, he might get that Eminem crowd. He'll get that you know, that Stan crowd. He ain't gonna get a Jake. No, not real Jake. Jake from the hood that actually supported this nigga, man. That was banging that all that shit that this nigga put out, man. They not supporting that, bro. I you know. Then again, you know, Jake, you know, they stupid as hell. You have some that will. Yep, it says it. Now let's get some of these comments to see what people are thinking. "It's amazing the U-turn you will make when they tell you they're going to cut your money off." Yeah, that's pretty much overall what it is. "You changed his tune on inclusivity years ago. Doesn't mean he doesn't occasionally still think that way. That's how he was raised. I think the change is real, but we are all occasionally slip back into old habits." Nah, that change ain't real. They on his ass about that money. Somebody says, "Yep, I'm done with him." Somebody else replied, "Facts." And you can see this a weirdo, because the same guy responded in this comment too. "Big red boots." Yeah, big red boots. We know you a weirdo, because he's changed from his 90s stuff. It's great when a musician keeps his mind open enough to change and diversifies. I appreciate his openness. Yeah, you know, you a weirdo. That's why. Yep. Somebody says he sold his soul to Satan. Yep. Years ago, when he first came out, it was in his video. Yeah. He goes back to that. Another tool of satanic Luciferian cult who controls the entertainment industry. See, people know. Anything for a buck, Mr. Sellout. Yep. Snoop is a sellout to Mr. Charlie. He always told y'all who he is, so believe him, because now he's just to save his career. Yeah. Somebody says, "Well, I'm disgusted. Snoop caved, and that's a sad state of affairs." Somebody says, "Snoop playing the role. More money. Yeah." Somebody says, "Get a backbone." Somebody says, "I really never thought it would be Snoop on his knees pandering to the masses. People show who they are if you pay attention." Yeah. Somebody says, whichever way the wind blows, right, Snoop? What a joke. Yeah. Somebody says Snoop should be ashamed of himself. Money ain't everything. A man without integrity is a man that would do anything for money. Yeah, ain't no telling what he done in them films, man. See, people don't understand. Ain't no telling what kind of film work they got on Snoop. Ain't no telling what he was doing. They probably, ain't no telling. Just ain't no the nasty of the nasties. Somebody says he was reprogrammed. Somebody says don't turn on your beliefs. Somebody says he caved. He caved in and gave in to the pressure of the woke side celebrities, will sell their souls to the devil in fear of getting censored, canceled today. So yeah, man, they like that attention, man. Somebody says Snoop is no gangster. Families come in one form, husband, wife, and children. Yep. Somebody says Snoop is sick and needs help badly. He meant exactly what he said. Don't backwalk now. No, yeah, he got to. They got to him. Says, damn, Snoop sold out. Last person I would ever think would be a sellout. Yeah, I mean, when you really look at his, his persona, and what he has, been, his stage presence, his whole, when you see him, he, you knew that nigga was probably about gone when he got on The Voice. I think what's that show that, when he started going real mainstream as far as like, he's just every damn where. He doing, the motherfucker was just fucking doing a concert at Trump's inauguration and all that bullshit, man. He's just, he's done, man. But like I said, you can clearly see in the comments, nobody supporting him except for that one stupid dude at the top. Snoop must not be smoking the pole sausage. Hell nah. Somebody says he caved. You must have been a fake Snoop. You are not real anymore. Damn. Oh, man, somebody says, get in line or we'll drop that tape to TMZ. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Because they got footage on all these niggas, man. They know how to keep all you musicians, all you actors, all you... And see, the ones that they can't keep in line, the ones that'll just... They just weirdos and they'll just come all out openly and be silly and fucking weird as hell anyway. They'll just go ahead and just, put their asses in a grave. They'll send them to the upper room. But these ones that's actually scared... that actually, they're not, prone of, they just want to just live on. They'll just, fall on their knees and go in. They probably ain't no telling, man. They probably pulled him back in like, oh yeah, we got to re-educate you, or walk down the hall, turn at the left and meet up at door 69 or some stupid shit. Probably walked off of that motherfucker, man. Ain't no telling what kind of film work they got on Snoop, man. What kind of, ain't no telling what this, I ain't gonna even get into it. It's just, ain't no telling what this nigga done, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna end out there, man. But you can clearly see, this is where we're at, man. Esau is losing the information war in a lot of areas. They have to come down with this great wrath. And they have to keep you niggas docile because they understand that the Hebrew Israelites are awakening in mass numbers too fast for them. So they have to try and do shit like this to try and keep Jake under. And see these enchantments like this shit is not working no more. Ain't nobody about to watch that shit. Ain't no, the average parent, the only parents that's going to be sitting down and turning their TV to some goddamn doggy land on YouTube is going to be, now here you go. Now this is a YouTube show, right? Again, let me just touch on that real quick. This is a YouTube show. Here you go. YouTube will allow this nigga to teach your children how to be these people. Well, when it comes to the scriptures, this motherfucker will delete your channel. So these people are the fucking wicked, man. And we know who's running that shit too. The tiny hats, man. Right? But anyway, with that, man, I'm going to end out. Pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yasha'Allah and a Bible ball. We're going into the Shabbat as well. It's going to be what I call a 48-hour Shabbat, because we're going to end out the month of Sunday sundown to Monday sundown tonight, or this evening when the sun goes down. But the new moon is Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown, so it's going to kind of like continue into the next new moon. So the next following month, it'll be Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. So, get prepared as you can, do what you can. We know that we're in our captivity. Some of us have to go to work, go to the plantation and do all these different things, but we're just practicing the righteous acts, man. So, just do the best that you can, you know what I'm saying? So with that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yasha'Allah in a bubble ball.